All right, what's up, guys? Vivi back with another video. And in today's video, as you can see on the screen here, guys, we've got some green blue Zonji action for ready for you today. So let's go ahead and start getting into this because we actually have 8 games to go over on the sim because I had an entire video planned for green blue Zonji right before they updated the sim to OP10. And then, as most people probably know by now, they updated to OP10. And then a week later, they updated to ST21 and EB02, I think, or maybe that was in OP10. I can't remember. But whatever the case is, they started doing all these updates to the sim, and I started falling further and further behind. So let me say this real quick, guys. We will have 5 games of OP09 Zonji to go over, and then 3 games of OP10 Zonji to go over. Okay, so that's what we're going to be getting into in today's video. And don't worry, guys. This is a leader that I update this leader list pretty frequently on the channel. I would say about once a month. So don't worry if some cards are in here. We're going to talk about some cards that I want to include in the very near future for the next update. If there are some cards in here that you're wondering why they're not in here, like for example, Nefeltari Vivi. I know a lot of people are going to say that. Guys, when I made this made this video, it was during OP09 and then the very first update into OP10. So I didn't quite have access to the Nefeltari Vivi, and then EB02 came out. And I started making more and more videos, so I got a little bit behind. But don't worry, in future videos with this leader, we will be featuring that tech as well. Okay, so with that in mind, let me go and lay out the video for you guys. First things first, we're going to check out the 2 deck lists, and we got some pretty spicy ones today. We have a more traditional green-blue Zonji list, and then we have a Navy version. Okay, we're going to be checking those out in today's video. All right, after that, we're going to have 8 games on the sim, 3 with the Navy, OP10, and then 5 with the OP09 version, the more traditional version I was running with Neko Mamushi. And then, of course, we will wrap it up by checking out the deck list one more time for each of these, and we'll kind of go over some ideas and what we could potentially add in the future, maybe some potential, directions we can go with this leader. Very fun leader, guys. I have to say, we'll talk about weaknesses as well, because there are, I would say there are 1 or 2 glaring weaknesses the deck has, but we'll talk about that as we get into the games. Okay? All right, guys, I'll have all this time stamped in the general description. I'll have all relevant deck lists in the comment section below, and any relevant links and stuff like that down there. And guys, if I miss anything, or if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, or anything like that, please do not hesitate to put that down in the comment section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link is in the channel description. Now, one more thing before we launch on this, guys. I will be streaming tonight on YouTube from 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. That is a new thing we feature on the channel, guys. That is a new thing we do here on the channel. Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays from 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. Come hang out. Let's chat about One Piece. We'll talk about all kinds of cool stuff. And that's not it's not rigid or anything. Like it's not scheduled like how we do these videos where we have a set thing we have to go over for the day. It's just totally improv. We just kind of go over whatever we want to and have a good time on there. So be sure to stop by if you have spare time and hang out with us on the on YouTube on stream. Okay. All right. Now let's do this, guys. Let's get into this video. Let's check out the deck list first. That's the number 1 order of business here. Move the leader out of the way. Situate my face cam down here. And so first up, we're going to be looking at the deck list that I would consider the more traditional deck list. But it is OP09. Okay, so we do have Dracula Mihawk in here. We have Sabo. We have the new Doflamingo. And one card that's missing from here, a lot of people might be thinking like, whoa, you're missing a pretty important card in Sengoku, right? Because that can search up, it can actually search up quite a few cards. However, there's a few cards that Sengoku cannot search up. One of them being the card we're looking at right now. In fact, most of the top end, if not all of the top end in this deck, cannot be searched up by Sengoku. That's the reason that I got rid of it. But notice, guys, we got Dracula Mihawk here. This version, the OP09 version, is cross-guild. It is not 7 Warlords, unfortunately. Sabo is not. Now, this Doflamingo here is 7 Warlord searchable, but the Sabo is not, Neko Mamushi is not, Carrot is not, and neither is Hody Jones. So all of our big finisher and lockdown pieces in this version of the deck are not searchable by Sengoku. That's why we're not running it in this version of the list. Not to say you couldn't get some value with it for sure, though. Okay, so other than that, though, we do have a lot of stuff here. Remember, guys, with this Sabo, this is not the best Sabo in the world for what we're trying to do, but it does have some potential. It's a 5-cost, 6K body with a 1K counter, with the potential to draw cards if you have three or more rested characters when he attacks. And remember, he will count himself when you go to attack, so if it's him plus 2 other characters, you'll get to draw a card once per turn. Okay, So unfortunately, we can't stand him up with the leader and do it again if it lined up like that. But oh well, it's not too big of a deal, right? It's still it's potentially a very powerful effect. We are running the new Doflamingo because if we just have one other rested character, we can stand this guy up and we have a 6k blocker. 2k counter Mihawk, pretty standard. We have the Weevils, we have the Jinbei, then we have Crocodile and Mihawk for the 2k counter spots here. We are running another blocker here with Boa Hancock because this is not once per turn. So Dawn times 1 when attacking, we can potentially draw 2 cards with this if we have 5 or less cards in hand when we're doing the effect. Pudding is just incredible, kind of like with Hody Jones. Even though it seems like these are way out of place, these are just insanely powerful cards, period. Okay, we talked about these. Gecko Moria, just to get back some of our 2k counters, or Jinbei. And then we have Gravity Blade Raging Tiger, an incredible utility card. Okay, so that's that. Now, the other list we're going to be looking at, so these are going to be the last 5 games we go over with the deck you just saw right here. But then we're also going to be going over this first, is going to be the OP10 version of the list, with green, blue, Zonji, navy. Here it is. This is the version we're going to be messing with first. Got to sit up in my seat here. Got to scooch up. So check this out, guys. I'm kind of liking what's going on here. I think we got some really cool stuff going on here with this Rosinante. We've got the X-Drakes. Because, guys, this is a Navy searchable card. X-Drake. Well, so all of these cards are Navy searchable, by the way. Every single one of them, right? Except... No, I think that's it. I think literally every single one of these are Navy searchable. So this is a very true to style Navy deck. We're running the Tashigi. It would be nice if I was running a way to bounce back the Tashigi with something maybe like a Jozu, even though that's not Navy. But still, I will say that right now, the 6-cost 7k Jozu is a very, very nice addition to this list. Because it's a 7,000 power base body. It has the 1k counter. It can bounce back our searchers, bounce blockers out of the way. This is a serious consideration we have to have for later. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be asking, where is Nefeltari Vivi in this list? Why aren't you running the new Nefeltari Vivi, this card right here? So let me read what this card does real quick, guys. It's a 3-cost, 2,000 power, 1k counter. On play, if your leader is multicolored and you have 5 or less cards in hand, draw 2 cards. It is just a strictly better card than Hina, right? Other than the fact that this one is searchable by Navy. This is a 3-cost, 4k, 1k counter. On play, if you have 5 or less cards in hand, draw 1 card. Well, the honest answer, guys, is when I was recording when I was recording the games we're going to be going over in today's video, this card was not accessible yet on the sim. So don't worry, in the next version that I go over, I will more than likely just be adding 4 of this to every one of my green blue Zonji lists going forward. Because, guys, this card, it's almost like it was, I don't know if it was literally made for green blue Zonji, but it feels that way, right? Okay, so with that in mind, these are the lists we're going to be doing today. Actually, let me explain what some of these cards do for the newer players. So X-Drake can pop a 4 or less on play. That's rested. Rosinante can cheat out 5-cost green characters. Not 5 or less, 5-cost green characters. So X-Drake or the new Smoker or this 5-cost 7k Vanilla. Rosinante, pause and read this card. One of the best blockers we have access to. Sakazuki, a 6-cost 7k. On play, if you have 2 or more rested characters, KO a 5 or less. And it doesn't have to be rested, which is very, that's not normal for green, right? Normally green can only pop rested characters, but this card's kind of reversed. You have to have 2 or more rested characters and play this card to pop a 5-cost character. The new Smoker, this is the major new force in this deck. It is very powerful. It's very annoying to deal with. This is a major new factor, a new... how do I say this? This card right here is absolutely incredible. Okay, I feel like this card, excuse me, I feel like this card alone took many green decks to the next level. Sengoku, this is just another 5-cost 7k we could potentially cheat out. Another 5-cost body we could potentially cheat out with Rosinante. It's Navy searchable and we could just trash it if we need to. Or 1k counter, I mean. 2k counter Tashigi. The 2k counter package we're running, guys, check this out. We're running 2k counter Tashigi, protecting our characters. We're running this Suru. This says on play, you can trash 2 cards from your hand, and your opponent has to return one of their characters to the owner's hand. So think about it, guys. If they only have 1 character left on the board, I can play this card out and trash 2 cards from my hand, and now they have to bounce a character back to their hand. So that's actually very, very powerful. Tashigi Searcher. This Kuzan, a lot of people might be thinking, like, what are you doing running this? Well, guys, it's really just a 3-cost 5k that can draw 2 and place 2 on the bottom of my deck. So it just fixes my hand. Because ultimately, we want to play out a Smoker on turn 3. Okay? We are searching for Smoker on turn 3. So like turn 1 Tashigi, turn 2 Kuzan. As long as we get Smoker on turn 3, we're in pretty good shape. Now, they might be able to remove it. We'll talk about that later. But that's still the general idea we're going for. And then the other 2K counter spot we have is Gion, or Gion, however you say that, is a 4-cost, 5,000 power 2K counter. Check this out, guys. Your turn once per turn. When your opponent activates an event, your opponent places 1 card from their hand at the bottom of their deck. This is a great card against Nami, but most importantly, guys, it's a 4-cost, 5,000 power 2K counter. We can search it up with this TCG, and it gives us some insurance against decks that are trying to be super defensive. Okay, then we have Hina. We already talked about this card. We can draw a card if we have 5 or less cards in hand. I'm going to be honest, guys. I would just immediately remove this card for the Nefeltari VVs. But like I said, they just weren't available to me when I put this deck together when I first ran it. And then we're running 4 Isho. This is a 6-cost 7K. By the way, there's probably some idea to run the green Isho as well. Let me just bring that up real quick. This card right here. There's some serious consideration for running this card, especially since we're already running the Rosinante. Because this is a 5-cost 6K 1K counter, and if your leader has the Navy type, rest up to 2 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or below, right, at 5 or less. So we can, play this out. We can actually cheat this out with the Rosinante, tapping down 2 cards, and then if we have a Smoker, we can swing in with the, attach it on here, swing in with the Smoker. We can do so many different things. So there's definitely some consideration for this card. But for right now, we are running this one, the 6-cost 6K 1K counter Isho that says on play until the start of your next turn, up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 7 or less cannot attack. Very powerful effect there. He does have a 1K counter. He's Navy searchable, of course, and he's a 6,000 power body, so we can just attach 1 Dawn to it and just smash in. But I'm going to be honest, guys, I think this is just the better option. Again, you live and you learn. Some of these cards come up later before I've had enough time to think about them and include them. But yeah, and actually this did come out in OP10, so that might have been something to do with it. But then again, so did Smoker. Yeah, no excuses, guys. This should probably be in here. Okay, then last but not least, we are running 2 of the Gravity Blade Raging Tiger. I just think this card's incredible for what we're trying to do. And then 2 Hound Blaze. This Hound Blaze is just going to be good for getting around the little tiny blockers, or just removing their smaller bodies, their little, 1-cost or 2-cost searchers. Just bottom deck those to get them out of the way, so I don't have to swing into those and waste an attack. And we'll just come in for 8 with the leader or something like that. Okay, it can also be used with something like the Hina, so that way we can buff it to 7,000, swing in, pull it back to hand, and do shenanigans from there. Okay. All right, that's it, guys. Actually, I probably should have talked about the leader. For those who don't know what the leader does, remember, Dawn times 1 when attacking, once per turn. You may return 1 of your cost 2 or higher characters to its owner's hand, and then set up to 1 of your power 7,000 or less characters as active. So that's why 7,000 is such a relevant number. I know this card cannot be used with what we're trying to do, but it's still a good enough card to include in the list, I think, with this version, with the Navy version. Okay, now let's do this, guys. Let's get into these games. This should be a lot of fun. All right, first up here, let me go full screen. Let me move my camera over so we can get right into this. We got a game versus Purple Yellow Croc. Okay, volume is off. Speed is on 2x, and we are good to go. So here we go, guys. First 3 games are going to be with the Navy deck. So while we're watching this game start up, we have a very good start here. Turn 1 Tashigi into turn 2 Kuzan could be very good. We find the Smoker, exactly what we want, and now we're off to the races. They're going to play out a Miss Valentine, do some searching, and probably just swing for 6. They did get a Oh Come My Way. They're going to swing for 5 here. Looks like we might take. No, yeah, we're going to counter out. I do like countering out with the X-Ray because I don't think that card's going to be super relevant to what we're trying to do this game. Okay, so right here, I think we're going to play out the Kuzan first. Looks like we're going to trash a 2K counter in the other Kuzan. We'll swing in for 6 here. We will not use the leader effect to pull back a card, and he's going to give me a 2K counter their turn. So I'm going to say this right now, guys. You're going to see this list, when it can actually just flood the board, can really beat down any list. So naturally, I think the 2 biggest counters to this deck are going to be anything with black in it that has high removal, and then Jewelry Bonnie. Because watch what we can do with our leader effect, guys. Not necessarily this turn, but you're going to see what we can do with the leader effect here. It is nasty what we can do with this leader. But not if we can't use our leader because of effects like the Jewelry Bonnie green 5-life leader. So we're going to swing for 5. They're going to give us a 1K counter. We played out the Gion so they can't just use their effects. Purple Yellow Croc wants to use their events a lot of times, like Oh Come My Way. Well, with Gion on the board, it means they're going to have to trash a card every time they do it. We swing out with the Kuzan here. We're not afraid to lose that card. In fact, we would rather him do some swinging into that card right now. So maybe he can do some extending with his 4-cost Bon Carré, and we could take that out. All right, let's see what they choose to do here. They're gonna swing with Bon Carré, 5 into 5. I think we're just going to counter out here. Yep, we'll counter out with the X-Drake because we can just swing 2 into it. And now we'll probably counter out with the 2K. Yeah, we're trying to keep a decent board here, guys. Okay, here we go. So in this situation, we'll go 2 into 1. Does he want to give me a counter? Because that's fine with me, right? Okay, it looks like he's going to use the Crocodile effect, the 8-cost character effect. And he's going to 2K counter out. Okay. We might actually just swing 1 more into it. Look at these free cards we're getting out of hand, guys. Okay, we swing in with the Rosinante. Okay, and watch this. So, guys, we've got tricks for this guy. Okay, we still got tricks for him. We're going to swing in for 5. Okay, he takes it. Let's see what happens here. We have a trick here. I don't know if we're going to do it or not. All right, we're going to swing in for 5 more. Yeah, we didn't quite do the trick I was thinking of. So we're going to swing in for 6, standing up the Gion. Yeah, I think because we should have loaded up more on the Gion and played out this Smoker. At least in my opinion. But maybe I'm just going to do this entire play here with the Smoker. Yeah, so play out the 2 costs, play out the Smoker here. I stand a Dawn as active. So see, I should have swung for, I guess technically I should have swung for 6 one time, but oh well. Or maybe a 7 one time with a leader. That would have been fine as well. So we stand up our guy. We're not afraid to lose the TCG. They can have that card, right? They play out a Miss Wednesday, but guys, look what's in our hand. We have a Gravity Blade Raging Tiger. That thing's not surviving. And in this deck, guys, with Smoker on the board, that Gravity Blade Raging Tiger is pretty much a 6-cost effect because of our Smoker. So they're going to swing 9 into that. I think we're going to save this card so we can get pretty aggressive here. Yeah, we're going to save the card. They have 1 Dawn active. We know they're sitting on a Oh Come My Way. But watch this, guys. Gravity Blade Raging Tiger. Remove both of your blockers with effects still on them. And now we have all this we're going to do here. We're going to swing for 5. Okay, again, if he wants to use an effect here, an event, it's going to cost him because of our Gion. We're going to, yeah, and then they go ahead and just give up, guys. So we were going to swing for 7 with Banish, swing for 6, standing this to swing for 7 more. And, yeah, that would not have been pretty, guys. I mean, they did have an Oh Come My Way, but that was going to make them trash cards. And at what cost, right? What are they going to have left? Because I think the card we would actually stand up, the more I'm looking at this, I think we would actually consider pulling back the 2K counter Gion and then standing up the Smoker. Yeah, I think we actually kind of messed up there, guys. I think we should have swung 7 with the Smoker, restand the Smoker to swing 7 more. So that was actually probably a slight play mistake there. Whatever the case is, they end up quitting out a little bit early. I do think they're... I do think they were in a lot of trouble. Let me just say that, guys. Here was the idea. Like, some people might be thinking, like, hey, what's the problem? Why didn't they use Oh Come My Way, trash a card, and then go throughout the game, right? Well, hear me out, guys. They had 2, 4, 6, 7. If they use Oh Come My Way and go Dawn -1, they already did the Dawn -1 effect with Crocodile, so they would not get a Dawn back. They would go down to 6 Dawn, and then they would only be at 8 Dawn for the following turn. All of their life is gone. They have what's on the board, and they can't play any of these cards in their hand. And it looks like all they would get from their from the top of their deck is a 2K counter. So it's a rough spot to be in, but hey, it is what it is. Good game to my opponent. That was a really rough one, really rough position to be in. All right, next up we got a game versus Nami. If you want to talk about a deck that might be the hardest counter in the game to Nami, this deck might be it. I mean, I can't prove that, but I think this deck might be the biggest counter in the game to Nami. Okay, here we go. We're going to play out the TCG here. We do a top search. Of course, we're looking for... What did we see in that search? Hang on one second, guys. I did that so fast. Play out the TCG. Okay, yeah, we're looking for the 5-cost Smoker. I was going to say, I thought I saw it. I thought this Sakazuki or one of these was like the Sengoku, but they're not. Okay, so we just get the 2K counter Gion. That's the second best option, probably. It might be the first best option, depending on who you're talking to. So we're going to swing for 5 and see what they give me. They can block with Boodle here to, you know, to trash a card. Watch this. So we swing it for 5. They use a Desert Spada. They're going to set their top 3 cards with the Desert Spada, and then they are going to trash a card from their hand to the bottom of their... Excuse me, they're not going to trash it. They're going to put it to the bottom of their deck. Okay, notice what that Gion does, guys. Let me go back real quick, and I'm going to try to pause right on it. Okay, so when your opponent activates an event, your opponent places 1 card from their hand at the bottom of their deck. So absolutely brutal, guys. This is a card that can pretty much hard counter Nami. And what's better than 1 Gion? I would say 2 of them. What do y'all think? So right here, we're going to play out the one Gion. We're going to play out the Rosinante. We're going to swing. We don't swing in. I think we should have swung in there, but I think I'm probably going to try to bottom deck these Boodles. Okay, look at this. He's got triple Boodle on the board. He's got Cavendish, which seems like it's pretty decent in this deck. And I don't think he realizes how good that Cavendish is against me. I mean, I'm sure he does, but man, that's actually an incredibly, incredibly good card against me. Okay, we're going to probably play out this card right here. Yep, to do to draw a card. And right here, we're going to wait. They're going to do a Zonji's Pilaf. They're going to play out their fourth Boodle. They're going to swing in. We're going to let the card go. And they don't swing with the Cavendish. I think that's interesting. We were going to remove that Cavendish, I promise, if he had swung in with that, because we'd have got rid of it with our X-Drake if we had to. So we're going to swing it for 7. Now remember, guys, if they play out an event, they have to put 2 cards from their... Wow, so they did a White Snake to draw a card. They had to put both cards from their hand to the bottom of their deck. Seems good. We're going to swing in for 6. They have no cards. They have to give us a blocker here, or they have to let it go through. And right here, we're going to play out the Smoker. I guess we had 1 extra Dawn to use there. But guys, you notice what we're doing? We're swinging twice a turn, so that way we can actually get some stuff here. We're going to 2K counter out so they don't get some closer to their condition, their win condition, with the milling effect of Nami. They're going to Zonji's Pilaf to go up to 2 cards. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. So now we can swing again with our Gion. We can also swing with Smoker. So now I think it's finally time to swing out. We're going to swing for 5. They have to either give us a blocker. Okay, they're going to use that effect. Now they're going to have to put a card from their hand to the bottom of their deck. And now we get to swing in all the way across the board here. And y'all see the situation we have them in. 5 can't be countered out of because they don't have any counter. We're going to swing in here. We're going to swing for 6 into the Cavendish, pulling this card back, standing this card up. And then now we'll go 6 more into it. It's like, hey, man, I hate to break it to you, but you're just not going to save that card. We're swinging in for 7 with Banish. And now we're going to stand a Dawn as active, play out this... let's see. I'm actually trying to consider what to play out. We play out the Kuzan. We'll trash the other Kuzan in a 2K counter. And we'll swing in for 5. Let's see if they want to draw a card. It is a Snake Dance to pull back a card to push one of our cards back. But hey, we've got all the Dawn necessary. We'll just replay the card and say, your turn. Guys, this is an absolute this position they can't live from, right? There's just no way out of it. They're going to swing 1 into 5. I'm fine with them drawing a card here. They still have 25 cards left in their deck, guys, because every time they play a card from their hand at an event, on my turn, they have to put 2 cards from their hand on the bottom of their deck. So we're swinging in for 7. Let's see what they decide to do. They use Love Beam. Well, now they have to put 2 cards from their hand to the bottom of their deck. So they drew a card to put 2 cards back. It is just absolutely brutal, guys. It's absolutely brutal. I am not even going to attack into that Nami so that I can get full value for my my Tashigis. Or my Gions, excuse me. We'll go 5 into 1. I guess we do end up going into it, but I don't think we needed to. We'll swing 7 in with Banish. We'll play out another Smoker. Okay, I think we're going to pull back the Kuzan here, and I think we should stand up the other Smoker, honestly, yeah. And then swing for 7 more with Banish. So they do get a draw 2, trash 1 trigger. We're swinging for 7. It's Banish. Your turn. They have 19 cards left in deck, guys. Even after, okay, they're going to Kaya here. They're going to Margaret. 7 into 5. We're going to 2K, 1K to get out of it. And that's game. There's just no way out of this, guys. Good game to my opponent. If you want to talk about like what might potentially be the hardest counter in the entire game to Blue Nami, it might be this deck, guys. Okay. But they can always tech in something like Gravity Blade, Raging Tiger instead of the Cavendish they were running, and maybe that would have been a better call. I don't know. It's hard to say. Okay, we got one more game of Green-Blue Zonji, the Navy version with the OP10 cards, and then we will go over to the OP09 stuff with the more 7 Warlords engine. Okay, so we're going to use Tashigi to search up the Rosinante there. I don't know if that's actually going to come in handy or not this game, guys, but hey, we got the card, right? We got it. Okay, so here we go. We'll swing in for 5. Let's see what they want to do. They don't want to do anything. We're going to do a draw 2, put 2 to the bottom with the Kuzan, fix our hand a little bit, and now we've got, you know, more and more cards to play out. Okay, they're going to pop the Tashigi. That's completely fine with me, right, guys? We don't really care about that too much. Especially in this version, we don't have a way to pull it back. Okay, so we'll go 5 into 0 here. Let's see what they do. They just go ahead and take this. I do really like playing out the Tashigi here, the 3 cost to protect our board a little bit. Looks like I'm going to play out a 4 cost, though. Okay, we're going to swing for 6 into 5. They'll give us a 2K counter. We play out a Gion. So now, any event they try to play on our turn, they will have to put a card from their hand to the bottom of their deck. So very powerful, but there's not a lot of cards to worry about in Blackbeard for that. Okay, so they do get rid of it with probably a Shigan Finger Pistol, and now it's our turn. They swing in for 6, and we 2K countered out, by the way, to get out of that attack with Blackbeard into Kuzan. All right, just waiting for them to pass the turn back. They do, and they're going to use Black Hole here. Well, guess what, guys? We're going to swing some 5s in, I think. Yeah, swing 5, swing 6, I think. Or we could play out 2 bodies. Playing out 2 bodies might be better in this situation rather than just playing out the Sakazuki. Let's see what I choose to do. We're going to swing for 5, so I think we're going to go for a 4 cost and a 3 cost. I do like that a lot. It allows me to do more damage on the board. They're going to play out the stage. They're going to play out Vasco's shot. They've got 5 Dawn left for the turn. They play out a Katarina Devon, and let's see what they can do with this. Maybe give it blocker. But if I remember correctly, they try to go pretty aggressive with it. Okay, going for my card there, we're going to 1K counter out of that every time. Yep, we're going to... They do not use their leader effect, by the way. So it looks like we're going to be able to do some real tricks here. We're going to be able to do some tricks here. Let's see if I actually do it correctly. So we'll swing for 5. We'll swing for 5 and 5. I think this is going to be a lot of 5s right here. Let's see what they choose to do. We're coming in for 5. They 1K counter out. We're going to pop the Katarina Devon here. We're going in for 5 more. We're going in for 5 more. And now we're actually going to play out Rosinante and say, your turn. Guys, there's pretty much no way to survive right here, right? The leader effect being nullified for their turn, we don't have an effect for my opponent's turn, so that doesn't matter. It will be back online for our turn, but let's see what they do. They're going to go 5 in here. We're going to give a 2K counter. We're not giving them any cards, guys. We're not going to give them any cards at all. Are they going to trash their last card? Are they going to trash their last card here to shut down my leader, my own play effects? They choose not to. I'm going to tell you guys what we should do here. All right, watch this. We're going to swing 5 first. That's the right call. We're going to swing for 5 first. A very pesky 5. Okay, now right here, 5 more. They have to take it or give us a blocker. Let's see what they choose to do. Swing for 5 more. Yep. And then we're just going to load up everything on here. We'll go in for 12 to make sure I did the math right. 12 into this guy. And then we're going to pull back the Rosinante to stand up the Gion. Your turn. They just forfeit. They just surrender. Because, guys, at this point, they should have just taken that hit. I'm not saying it was the best Blackbeard player, guys. No one's saying that. You know, understand. But also understand they were in a very, very tough situation there. Good game to my opponent. That was a tough one. Because what are they going to get from their life anyway, even if they take all those hits? Because if I needed to, it was going to be the 2 more attacks. But this worked out just fine, where they don't really have a great play next turn. The next card, they get a 2K counter, and then they're going to have to do a top 3 search with their Hachinosa or Full of Lead Island. Okay, now over to some OP09 decks with Green-Blue Zonji. First game up here we have against Red-Purple Luffy. So Red-Purple Luffy, one of their biggest weaknesses is being able to swing 6 into them multiple times. Well, in this deck, we're going to try to swing 6 into them like 4 and 5 times every turn, right? Like that's the goal, right? At least 3 to 4 times a turn. They play out a Brûlée. Very interesting. This is not a normal version here. We swing for 6. They go ahead and use the Brûlée early to draw a card. We're going to play out the Jinbei. And here we go, guys. We're pretty much off to the races. Watch this. They're going to play out a Nami. Let's see if I reveal what they got with the Nami. It looks like I'm doing a little bit of math right here. I'm trying to see, like, okay, wait a minute. We might be going in big next turn. We might be going in big next turn, guys. Excuse me. Oh, or we can establish a Boa Hancock, which is very strong as well. So we're going to swing in for 6. We're going to, it looks like we're going to attack for 6, and we're not going to use the leader effect. We're going to play out a Boa, lock down the Zoro, and bottom deck the, whatever her name is, the Nami. They're down to 1. 6 into 6, you're not getting it for that. Okay, now for 10, you might. Actually, you might not, guys. Look at our hand. They may not get it for 6. 2K, 2K, 1K every time, or 2K, 1K, 1K, 1K. I don't know what it was, but it was like a bunch of counters there. We're going to tap down their last Dawn. We're going to tap down the everything, and we're just going in, guys. Swing 6. Swing 6. This is going to be nasty. Guys, this is going to be brutal. Swing in there, pull back Jinbei, swing 6, and it's going to be swing 6 more, and then 2 8s. Let's see if they can get out of it, man. That's wild. They got out of all these, though, so far. It's like, okay, now we're coming in for 8. Does he have it? Whoop, he left so quickly, guys. We didn't get a chance. So there we go. Let me see if I can pause right on it. Right? Ah, I can't do it, guys. Let me go to right here. And then as soon as I... Look at that timing, guys. That was in 2x speed. Unbelievable. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, they almost got out of it. They did have another 2K counter, and their hand was complete gas after that. Like, because remember, people might think, like, man, their hand was bricked up. It's like, yeah, well, remember, they had about eight cards they went through altogether. Or they had, like, 8 cards altogether, and they countered out of 1, 2, 3, I think, like, 4 attacks. We just had so many attacks for them. That was just brutal. Okay, good game to them. That is Red Purple Luffy's worst nightmare, is, of course, getting their hands stuck like this, even after countering out of that many attacks. It seemed like they were going to be fine when they weren't. Okay, next up we have another game versus Purple Yellow Croc. And remember, this is the OP09 version, so of course this is not the same opponent. Or maybe, I guess it could possibly be, because this was done on different days, right? This was done like weeks apart when I was recording the first 3 games from the last 5 that we're on now. So we're going to swing in for 8. I seriously doubt they're going to counter out of that. We just didn't have a 3-Dawn play. Unfortunate. And here we go. So they're going to go ahead, and they actually hit a ramp there with Gum Gum Jet Gatling from the trigger. Seems good. They're going to swing in for 7. It looks like we might counter out. We counter out of that. We counter out of that, guys. Which I'm not totally opposed to, because our next turn play might just be like Jinbei into Boa. So we can always just play out the Gecko on following turns, right? So we're going to go in for 6. Let's see what they give us. They're going to be able to use the Miss Wednesday here. That is not good for us, guys. That Miss Wednesday is so strong. It's so strong in this list. So he's swinging for 6. He does use the effect. He's going to ramp a Dawn. He is up to 6 Dawn. He'll be on 8 Dawn next turn. We're going to play out the Jinbei using the Gecko, getting back a 2K counter instead of the Boa. Okay, I'm trying to favor more the value play here because of how much they've ramped into me. So they're going to play out a Crocodile. They basically have the perfect start, guys. Getting that ramp trigger was insane, and now they go straight to the Crocodile. They're going to be able to return Dawn on my turn, so that way they can ramp it back and just do all kind of stuff. This is in an incredible position for them to be in. We're going to play out a Boa. We're going to set our top cards. We're going to attach a Dawn to the Jinbei for free. Let's see what we choose to do with this. We'll swing in for 6. And I think what we're going to do here is swing 6 Jinbei, swing 6 Leader, 7 with Gecko, and then restand it. Hopefully that made sense. I kind of messed that up. Let me see what we do here. Yeah. So swing 6 Jinbei, swing 7 with Gecko, swing 6 with Leader, standing up the Gecko by returning the Jinbei, and then we'll go about things in that way. So they are going backwards in Dawn now. Now we're starting to finally get something out of this. We go in for 6. Let's see what they should just 2K counter out of this. Okay, and I think they did. And now we're coming in for 7 more. They're going to give me the blocker. I don't know if I gave the blocker that early, guys. I think I would have probably just taken that hit. Oh, they had another blocker. Okay, that does make sense. We don't know what's in their hand. They have 2 blockers. Yeah, so maybe that does make sense now. 9 into 5 will block in 2K, 2K. I'm daring this guy to load up the final 2 and swing into me. Yep, 2K, 1K. Like, dude, I'm not giving up any momentum. I'm not giving up any tempo here. Okay, we did get a Boa Hancock there, the 6 cost, which is not really horrible in this position. But let's see what happens here. Okay, we're going to play out the Jinbei first, cheating out the Boa, looking at my top cards. I bottom decked those, guys. I said, nope, I don't want none of that around here. We'll attach 1 Dawn for free to the Boa. We're going to go in for 7 here. We're going to swing 7 4 times this turn, guys. Just understand that. We're coming in for 7 4 times. I might stand up the Boa and not attack, but we're swinging for 7 at least 3 times. Okay, they're going to use the Dawn minus effects here to do some, Purple Yellow Croc tomfoolery, some shenaniganery here. Okay, they actually give us a blocker. We're swinging for 7 more. Let's see what they give us. They are respecting our attacks a lot. Okay, they're actually respecting our attacks more than we want them to, which is smart. Like they're doing it right. They're doing things correctly. Okay, I think we should just load it for 8 here. Yeah, we're going to swing it for 7, pull this back, stand up the Boa, and I don't think I should actually attack in here, guys. I don't think I should attack in with the other Boa. Unless he takes this, then I think I should. He counters out very aggressively, so now I'm going to pass the turn, not give him another card, and now we have 2 blockers, 3 life. We pretty much have no way of losing, to be honest. I don't think we have any way of losing here. 2 blockers, 3 life. He only had 3 potential attacks. He is going to play out another Crocodile to gain a life. He's going to swing for 9. We're going to gladly take that because we were running out of cards. And let's see what he does now. Maybe swing for 7. Yeah, he did that out of order, but that's okay. We were going to take both no matter what. Okay, we get a Carrot, but this is not exactly the best matchup for Carrot. So I like maybe playing out a Sengoku here to see what kind of options I have, but at the same time, I think we should just try to go for lethal. I think we should just try to beat our opponent down here, and then maybe play out the Boa Hancock. Okay, we're going to start with a nice little 6K poke. A nice little 6K poke. They're going to use their Miss Wednesday effect to stand Dawn up, and maybe even a Crocodile effect. Let's see what they do. Maybe not. They might not be doing a Crocodile effect here. Okay, let me make sure our speed's on 2x. Did we? Yeah, we did. Okay, so they did take that hit. Remember, guys, they did gain a life last turn, so they took that hit. We're going to play out the Sengoku, see what we can get access to. These are not the best options for what I want to do here. I don't know what I was searching for, but hey, we did get something. I think we should just keep swinging. Honestly, guys, I think we should just swing 7 here, swing a bunch of 7s, and then play out the Boa Hancock. Okay, so they're going to probably counter out of this, maybe redirect with O Come My Way. If they redirect with O Come My Way, though, they'll go from 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yeah, no, they'll be fine. If they O Come My Way, that would be completely fine. And I would do that in this situation if they have it. They might not have the card in their hand. Okay, we're just waiting for our opponent. They're going to give us a Gum Giant Gatling to get out of that. Very nice. We'll swing for 6, pull back the Jinbei, stand up the Boa. We're coming in for 6 now. That's going to give us a 2K counter. They have no cards left in hand, guys. We are going to play out the Boa, locking down one of their attacks for the turn, and then we're not going to bottom deck our 1 cost. It just doesn't really do anything. They're going to play out a Zoro. That's not going to do anything for them. I don't know what they're looking for, guys. Who knows? But whatever it is, I don't know how it's going to save them in this situation. They're going to swing in for 9. I think we can probably, yeah, take this one. And then if we need to, well, actually, we're not in the best position, guys. We are not in the best position because we have to get out of one of these attacks. Oh, excuse me. He can't attack with the other Crocodile. So he can't even attack with his Crocodile. We're going to have to give him a blocker here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can get to 12. All right. So we had exactly enough to get to 12, and he cannot swing with the other Crocodile. He's going to go ahead and give up there. I think that was a bit premature because he did have a Oh Come My Way. He did have Oh Come My Way. However, let's just do a little bit of math here. Say he leaves 1 Dawn active, right? Say he leaves 1 Dawn active and has the... Actually, he doesn't have to leave 1 Dawn active because he can use the effect of Miss Wednesday to get the Dawn. So, okay, so say he did what he did there. I fully counter out. We get a carrot at the start at our beginning turn. That doesn't matter. It's totally irrelevant. So, okay, what we would do in this situation is we're going to swing for 7 first with a Boa Hancock. Right? We're going to swing for 7 first with Boa. That is probably going to be taken to see what he has for his last life card. I think he just has to take that chance, especially with a blocker and a Oh Come My Way in hand. So one of our attacks is used up. Then I think we actually have to attack for 9 with our Boa Hancock, our 6 cost 8K. I think we have to poke in for 9, or we could just do some more 7s. We could poke in for, well, I don't know. Hang on. I don't think so, actually. Hang on. I think what we actually do in that situation is we load 3. Yeah, it will be 9s, I think, for the rest of the time. Because hear me out, guys. What we would do, so 1 Dawn on this character right here, right? 1 Dawn next turn on this character to poke for 7 to start. Then we have 9 Dawn left, right? So from there, with 9 Dawn left, I think we load up 3. Hear me out. We'll get over 7K. Hear me out, guys. We'll load up 3 on this character, 3 and 3. No, but hang on. So... Guys, I'm like losing my mind right now because what I was saying is we'll be able to pull back the bigger attack and stand this one up for another even bigger attack. So what I think we would do is we would load up. No, let's not even make it complicated. Yeah, we'll just go swing 7, swing 7, swing 9, swing 9, pull back one of these cards and swing 9 with the final attack. I think that would be exact, right? Because it'd be 1 Dawn for 7 for 1 Boa, 1 Dawn for 7 for the next Boa, 1 Dawn to get this Boa up to 9. 4 on our leader, right? So 4 on our leader to get to 9, and then we still have 3 left. So it would be 10. Yeah, so it would be 7, 7, 9, 9, 10. I think that's probably the best we could do. And you see what I'm saying? So it'd probably be better to do like 7, 8, 9, 9. I don't know, something like that. Whatever the case is, we got through, guys. I don't think they were going to be able to survive with what they had. Good game to my opponent. Okay, now we got a few games versus Enel. We got 2 different games against Enel, same deck, but different player we're playing against. Like we're running the same deck, but then we're playing against 2 different Enels. Okay, so speed's on 2x, volume's off. Here we go. They're going to play out no Nami. They're going to try to banish in. I don't like taking banishes like that. You know, get out of those when you can for the easy early on ones. Take the free hits that go up hand size, right? We're going to go swing 5, play out Jinbei, play out Weevil. Your turn. I'm sure he'll have something like a Gidatsu here or a Nami. It's hard to keep characters on the board versus this. We're going to take this, I think. So we should have taken that in case they had Gidatsu. Let's see what they do. I guess we're basically saying, no, you're going to have to show me Gidatsu if you have it. They have a Kuzan instead. Wow, okay, so we actually... We made out all right there, guys. We made out just fine right there. So we're going to swing in for 5, and I think we're just going to establish a big boy here. Yep, and this is going to draw 2, trash 1. That's a 6 cost 7K. We'll trash one of the other Doflamingos because we don't need all those, right? We don't need all those Doflamingos. In fact, we might not need any. We'll see what happens. Guys, that Mihawk is a monster. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take this. Now, here we go, guys. We've got a little present in store for our opponent, right? We are going to counter out of this. They play out of Shirahoshi. Now let's go and I think we should just do some attacking here. Let's see what happens. We'll go 5 into 5. I don't think he wants to save that. Yeah, he doesn't want to save that. Okay, right here's my chance to play out Dofi if we're going to play out Dofi. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to be honest, guys. I think what I should be doing here is swinging 5, and then just hitting him with a pudding. That's what should happen. Or swing 5, swing 6, obviously. Let's see what happens. Swing 6. He takes it. And now I think we should absolutely punish him with a pudding. Oh, but instead he does get a Nami to pop my Jozu. That was not the correct target. Yeah, okay, so pause. Real quick, guys, if you don't understand what just happened there, let me go back. I will go back so everybody sees what happened. So I attacked in with one of my I think it was the 4 cost 6K Weevil. They got a trigger. Okay, the trigger was a Nami. Nami was then used to pop Jinbei. Guys, do not pop the Jinbei, because you can get that card back with the Gecko Moria. So watch this, guys. When they do what we just said, so they get the trigger, they're going to... If he had popped the Weevil, that would have been very, very different. Watch this, though. He pops Jinbei. Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much. We'll play out the Gecko Moria, getting back the Jinbei, playing out the Jinbei again, and playing out a Crocodile. So what was already almost an unwinnable position for my opponent just got even worse. They're going to swing for 5. They're going to play out a Yamato, popping the Jinbei again. Guys, I can pull back the Gecko Moria with my leader effect. If I need to. I might not even have to do that here, guys. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I don't even think I should even try this pudding play here, guys. Yeah, swing for 5. Okay, let's see. Another trigger. They get a Raigo. Okay, they pop the Weevil. That's a much better target this time. I think they should have still actually popped the Gecko Moria, to be honest, though, guys. Okay, but I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much, right? We're going to swing in for 7 this time, see what he's going to give me. He's going to take that, which is smart. He gets a Shirahoshi. Man, this guy was just... He was catching all the breaks in the world from his life. I kept trying to punish him with pudding, but it's like his triggers were too perfect. I just couldn't do it. Okay, we're going to pull back the Gecko, restand the Dracula Mihawk. He gives me a 2K counter. I think we should swing again, guys. What do y'all think? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we shouldn't. All right, we're going to swing in. Let's see what he does. He does give us a blocker. Play out the Gecko. Get the Jinbei. We're going to play out the Jinbei. Actually, we might not. We'll just play out this Doflamingo. We got Jinbei for next turn if we need it. He was very fortunate we did not have another 2K counter in our hand rather than the Mihawk we have. So 5 into there. I think we just give him the free block here, right? Because aren't we kind of daring him to swing into the Dracula Mihawk? We counter out. Okay, so now he's going to swing 9 into that and then probably play out. So we're going to aggressively counter out of this because he's going to play an ace. Yep. So this was all completely calculated. We knew everything he was going to do there. We had fully anticipated the ace play. Okay, well, we have to go for it now, and we have to just hope he doesn't get more and more and more and more triggers, right? Like maybe one of his life cards will be a Yamato or an ace or something like that. That would be nice, right? But hey, you never know. So we go in for 6. He does have a 2K counter. Absolutely incredible, man. This guy kind of just has all that he needs. We're going to swing in for 7. He does take this. Any counter or any trigger? Nope, no trigger. We're going to swing in for 7. Oh, excuse me. It was a trigger. It was a you're the one who should disappear. So he just gained 2 life. He just gained 2 life, guys. We're going to swing for 9 into this card. We're going to pull that card back and stand up the Mihawk. We're going to play out the Jinbei, play out the Gecko Moria, get back a 2K counter, it looks like. I don't think it matters. Just get back a 2K counter in this situation. I guess that one maybe would have been the best. I don't know. It doesn't matter. What card does he get? That's all that matters. He gets a Shirahoshi. Guys, I'm going to be honest. I could not imagine a much better pull than what this Enel got into what I'm doing. The only thing that was not as good is he didn't see a Gidatsu early on. Instead, he saw the Kuzan. But he saw every trigger in the world to protect him. Okay, so he's going to swing in for 5. He's going to swing in for 5, or 8, excuse me. So he swung in for 5, swings in for 8. We get a Gravity Blade Raging Tiger. No reason to use this. He swings in for 9. We're going to take it. And then he's going to swing in for 10. Block, 2K, 2K. And here we go. Again, let's just see if his life can save him, right? That's all we're looking at right now. We're going in for 7s now all day, every day. Swing 7. Nothing. Okay, swing 7. He does get out of that one. We'll swing 5 because it's free. He has no way to get out of this. Trigger. No trigger. And then he gives up. Okay. Guys, and look at his next card in life. Like, he had already gone through his trigger for his leader, but he almost had another beige guy, or another way to get out of this. I was losing it. And which does remind me, in this situation, to play around beige, what I should have actually done, what would have been the correct play, is I actually should have swung with my leader for 7 first to pull back this Gecko to stand up one of my other characters, just in case his final life was a beige. Then he could have locked down, you know, one of my characters. Well, I guess it wouldn't matter, right? Because I had 2 attacks left. Well, no. I would have needed all of them. Right, yeah, I would have needed all of them because this 7 was going to knock out this last card, and if it was a beige, I would have lost. So technically speaking, what I should have done there, I should have swung 7 with my leader, or 6, because he has no cards in hand. Swing 6 with my leader, pull back one of my dudes, probably the Gecko Moria, and restand, you know, Croc or Jinbei, and then be ready for a beige in case he hits it. But guys, that was an absolute nightmare. That was insanity. He just kept surviving. We know what Enel does. All right, now we have another game versus Enel. Not the same player, but I am running the same green-blue Zonji deck for this, I believe. Okay, so right here, we're going to go ahead and play out the... So we went second. We're going to swing 5, play out the Jinbei. Actually, Pudding. Okay, hang on a sec. That was crazy, huh? So they have a 7-card hand. I'm just saying, hey, guess what? Pudding. Guess what? Pudding. That's it. They play out a Luffy here. We are going to play out a Jinbei into Weevil, I would imagine, unless I'm just crazy, guys. Let's see. I should swing first. Swing 5 with the Pudding. Okay, yeah. I see what's happening here, guys. We got a good one lined up for him here. We've got a good one lined up for him here. We'll swing in for 5. We'll swing in for 6, pulling back the Pudding. Let's see what he does. He goes up to 7 cards again. We hit him with another Pudding, guys. We hit him with another Pudding. He plays out a Shirahoshi. Let's see if he wants to pop this card, guys. Let's see if he wants to pop this Pudding here. That was pretty ugly, guys. We basically got 4 cards out of his hand with that Pudding and 3 life. So here we go. He gets a Shirahoshi, draw 3, trash 2, excuse me. I think choosing not to do stuff there is a little interesting. We're going to go Jinbei into Weevil, Jinbei into Weevil, and we're going to pass the turn because he has 1 life left. There's no reason to attack. I don't know what just happened there. He didn't even swing with the Monkey D. Luffy. I'm going to tap down his board, and we're just going to run this kid over. How does that sound, guys? We're going to go 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8. Just kidding. He gets a Raigo. Seems good. He gets a Frankie. We're swinging in for this. We're going to pull this card back, stand that up. Let's see if he has a 2K counter. He needs to use a 2K counter here, or I guess just a 1K or something. We swing in there. He gets a Frankie, and that's that. GG. Now, that was a much different game. If they don't get enough support from their life, guys, if they don't get enough triggers from their life, you can really just mow them over with a deck like this. And this is one of the strong suits of this leader, guys, is as long as you don't run into too many, I'll say this, guys, if you don't run into too many Luchis or decks running or Bonnie, I think this leader is actually a lot of fun and has a decent chance into a lot of matchups, especially Enel and especially Nami. So if you have a lot of Enels and Namis running around at your locals, this might be a lot of fun to play into them. But if you have a lot of Bonnies and Luchis and probably even, I think Blackbeard's fine, by the way. I think we can deal with Blackbeard pretty fine. But Namis and Luchis and Bonnies, those are pretty rough for this deck. I don't know how strong it is against Blue Dofi either. I need to do some testing against that. But if you guys already know, just tell me in the comment section below. Okay, so they play out a Kaya turn 1. It does seem good. It seems very good. Then they're going to play out the 1-cost Nami. Seems good as well. We don't really have anything we can do here. Okay, we did get a nice top deck. I don't think we're going to swing this turn. I think we're going to go Jinbei and get Weevil. Okay, we might swing. Nope, maybe not. Play that out, just pass turn. We're not going to swing so they can start filling up their trash with or not filling up their trash, start cycling through their deck faster. Okay, so now they're going to, I'm sure they're going to start their turn off with an attack with Nami. Okay, draw a card. They're going to draw two Dawn. Let's see what they do now. Yep, that's the first thing to do every time. They get a Zonji's pull off. We're just going to take this, obviously, because it can't do anything. It's just a 1k attack. We can just ignore that. They're probably just going to use a Zonji's pull off here. Yep, to draw 2 and pass the turn. Okay, so again, guys, we're in a situation right now where it's like, do we even attack? Okay, attacking into that body's fine if they want to use a Snake Dance. You know, and pull stuff back. That would be fine. Right here, we're going to play out a Dracula Mihawk. We're going to go ahead and draw 2 trash one, trashing the carrot. We just want to go as wide as we can on the board. Right, guys? So, for those who are not aware of what's going on, like, why am I not attacking in the face? Because I don't want to let them use their events to make me start, you know, running out of, you know... Hang on one second. I think we're going to Gravity Blade here, and I do like that a lot. But I also like filling out the board and just using Gravity Blade next turn. But what I was going to say is, when they have Dawn open, that's how Nami mills, is when they use events on my turn to mill me, right? So we actually don't want to do that if possible. And I was really hoping to get a, 4-cost pudding against this matchup. That would have been huge. So we're going to swing for 7. They're, oh, whoopsie daisy. So they just messed up big time. Guys, Snake Dance. Let me pause this, guys. And make sure the volume or the speed's on 2x as well. It is. Snake Dance. Pay attention to the wording and the order on these cards, guys, because in the sim, it's very unforgiving. It says, give up to one of your leader or characters plus 4,000 power during this battle. Then return up to one of your characters to its owner's hand. I swung for 7. They clicked Snake Dance, and then the first thing they clicked was their Kaya to return it to their hand. No, that's wrong, because notice what it says on the card. It's going to give 4,000 power to a legal target first. It doesn't, the computer can't read your mind. It's looking for a target to give 4,000 power to. Okay, well, it can give it to the Kaya. Okay, and now let's see what happens. Whoops. So they still pull back the Kaya, but they take a hit that they shouldn't have taken. I seriously doubt they were trying to take that hit. All right, let's see what happens next. We're going to swing for 6 here. This gets around something like a White Snake. They're going to go Desert Spada to get around to go, you know, to set their top 3 cards. We're going to swing in here, and we're going to pull back the Jinbei, standing up the Dracula Mihawk. And then we're still going to be able to play out a Jinbei into more characters. Jinbei is actually very good in this matchup for allowing us to get our attacks in and use our leader effect and still establish tempo. We're coming in for 7. They might want to use a blocker here. Okay, let's see what they choose to do. Just waiting on our opponent now, guys. See what they want to do here. So they'd have to 2k, 1k to get out of this because they have no Dawn active. When Nami is tapped out, when they have no Dawn available, guys, that's your chance to really swing in. And remember, guys, we do have this on 2x speed. We're just waiting on our opponent. We're going to swing for 8. They're going to use the blocker of Jinbei into Dracula Mihawk. Guys, we are desperately searching for a 4-cost pudding. That is what we're looking for. Okay, they're going to play out a Kaya. They're going to do a draw 2, trash 2. Seems good. They have the Nami on the board. Very, very annoying situation here. I don't know if Kaya is going to be in the cards for us here, guys, in this game, right? I don't know if it's going to happen. Very unfortunate, but hey, what do you do? What do you do? Right now, we're just waiting for our opponent to make up their mind, guys. We are just patiently waiting. And you know, Nami can be a hard deck to play when it comes to doing the math, but I don't think it should... How do I say this? You know, it all depends on what's in their hand. So they're going to play out a Boodle. This is a 2-cost 0 power blocker, and then on KO, you trash the top card of your deck. They're going to swing 6, probably into 6 here. We're obviously not going to let them have that, and I'm going to counter out with a carrot. I don't want them to know I have Neko Mamushi in hand. We're going to Grav Blade 2 cards off the board. We're going to swing in for 6 to do a draw 2 trash 1, or draw 2 trash 2 rather. We get rid of the cards we don't need. And now let's see what happens. I think I've all but given up on, you know, the idea of me being able to get to putting this game. I think I should just go some 6s across the board from here on out. Okay, so they're going to White Snake. Sure, that's fine. And they still take it. I guess they were just trying to draw a card. Don't know. They get a Desert Spada from the life trigger. That's a draw 2 trash 1. So we're coming in for 6 more. Let's see what they choose to do here. And this might be a newer Nami player. You got to be nice, guys. A lot of people in the sim are newer players. Nice. They learned from their mistake. They snake danced correctly that time to pull back the Kaya. We're coming in for 6. And right here, I think I should just swing in for 6 and swing in for 7 and then just pass the turn. Okay, they're completely tapped out, guys. So we're swinging in for 6. We're not using the leader effect. They 2K counter out. Beautiful. And then we're swinging in for 7. They're going to take that, and then they're going to pass. Okay, they actually got a trigger to draw 1 trash 1. And here we go. Let's see how much cards they have left in their deck. Hopefully I mouse over it soon. I don't remember if I do or not. Okay, but next turn, I know what we're doing, guys. Next turn, we are playing out Hody Jones. That's what's happening. So here we go. All right. Hody Jones is an incredible finisher against Nami, guys. An absolutely incredible finisher. All right, so here we go. Let's see. Hopefully I mouse over their deck in a minute here. 21 cards left, guys. They have 21 cards left in their deck. This is not looking good for our opponent. This is not looking good for our opponent. And if I top decked the 4-cost pudding here, I think it would still be worth using, to be honest, because it would completely tear apart their game plan. Guys, we're just waiting patiently. I'm about to do a little fast forward here. Okay, because they need to just pass the turn. There's nothing more they can do. Okay, here we go. All right, hang on. Went too fast. I got to go back now. I fast forwarded too quickly. Let's draw for the turn. All right, here we go. They finally pass. And we're up to 10 Dawn now. We're going to swing for 6, draw 2, trash 2. We get rid of the cards we don't need. And let's see what they choose to do here. They have, okay, they're going to go ahead and use the Rubber Band of Doom. We're going to rest down both blockers, and we are long hair. We don't care in this situation, guys. We're swinging for 7. They have to give us cards here. And honestly, I should have swung 6 first, but that's good. They at least had to use something there. I should swing with 6 with Jinbei right here. Okay, let's see what they do. So we swing in for 7. They can no longer use a, yeah, that's game. So, guys, that's going to be game for sure, because what we should be doing is swing 5 with Jinbei. Yep, swing 6 with leader, pulling back the Jinbei, standing up the Mihawk, swing 7. Yep, boom, it doesn't matter. They're both 7K, and then swing it with Hody Jones. There's no way for them to get out of that with not enough Dawn. And because we tapped down both blockers, we got out of 2 attacks without them being able to do anything. All right, well, that was it, guys. We're done with all the games. That took forever, right? That was 8 games of Green Blue Zonji. 8 games of Green Blue Zonji. So we will start off with, actually, let's start off with the other list real quick. It was the Green Blue Zonji 9, I think is what we called it. Yeah, this one. We didn't see Sabo one time. That was just bad luck, I guess. But I don't think this card is worth running in the deck. I just don't think it's worth it, even though we didn't really see it do anything. In fact, I would rather run this new Isho. Well, no, your leader has to be Navy for this effect. Yeah, what was I talking about? That's funny. I mentioned this earlier, guys. I was like, oh, yeah, I could just use this. It's probably just better. And my leader's not Navy, but the list was Navy. That's too funny, guys. People are probably going to say something in the very beginning of the video. But I'm just now realizing, I'm saying, yeah, maybe this is just better. But it's like at the same time, this card, we can't even use this effect in our deck. The effect, at least, right? We can still use the card. It's still a 5-cost, 6K, 1K counter, but Sabo has a little more upside than this card ever can for us. But with it being a 5-cost, maybe that was worth running in the Navy deck because we can cheat it out with the Rosinante. But yeah, anyway, so when it comes to this list right here, guys, I do think it's running pretty well. The Grav Blades are huge. This Sabo we didn't get to test out. Carrot's been pretty good, but some games it's better than others. I'll say that right now. But other than that, I think as long as you can fill the board out with Jinbei, the list kind of just does what it does every time, right? It just always... Jinbei is a big part of what this deck is trying to do. So I will say that if I were to go forward with this, I'd probably consider like running the Sengokus to make sure I can get to my Jinbeis a little easier, or my Weevils. And then on top of that, I'd probably even run the 6-cost Jozu, so that way we can bounce cards as well and have another really powerful 7K on the board. And in fact, I'm wondering, maybe there's even an idea to run this over the Grav Blades. I don't know. Grav Blade was pretty good a few games. Grav Blade was pretty good, but maybe over this card instead. Like going forward, maybe we actually drop the Boas and we go up like 3 Sengoku. Whoops, I typed 3 for us when I was saying 3. Probably go up to, maybe 3 or let me go up 4 for now. We'll drop down 1 Mihawk and go up 4 Sengokus for better searching into the stuff we need. And then maybe we go down 1 Neko Mamushi, down 1 Carrot, and then maybe we go up to Jozu's. Like, I think this is probably the way going forward. In fact, we could just drop, never mind, hang on. I'm just going to drop the Sabo, and I'm going back up that Nekomamushi and the Carrot. Yep, boom, right there and right there. Whoops, I just clicked something randomly. Yeah, the Carrot. Actually, maybe we go down one Nekomamushi because we have 2 rushers in this situation, and then we'll go up the third Jozu. Yeah, so this is where I'm kind of leaning right now with the deck, guys. Is like, okay, just like slam this down. And I will say this too, with Nefeltari Vivi now being in the equation, maybe there's also an idea to add that somehow. Not getting rid of the pudding, man. That Charlotte pudding is just too good. In my opinion, pudding is just too good. So maybe I will go down, like, let's go down a Carrot. Let's go down a Jozu. Actually, let's go down 2 Doflamingos. This card was kind of okay in one game. It just wasn't great in any of the others. And then maybe we'll go down 1 Jozu. And then we will go up 4 of these. Or maybe we only go up 3 Nefeltari Vivis. Guys, do we only need 2 or 3 Nefeltari Vivis? Let me do that right now. Let me go 6. Keep going back up to 3 Jozu. I think the card's going to be too good. But yeah, I think this might be the way to go. Like, looking into the future of the deck and going forward, if you want to stick to the 7 Warlords version, I think this right here is probably going to be a pretty good version for the deck. Something along these lines right here. It's nice having the Sengoku and Jozu engine to get really good value late game. You know, searching up your Jinbeis, searching up your Edward Weevils early on, pulling the card back for extra value later with your Jozu, because you can't do it with your leader effect. You can't return a character that costs 1 or less with your leader effect. It has to be cost 2 or more. So the Jozu helps us get around that by bouncing back Sengokus, bouncing threats off the board, and all that good stuff. And this Nefeltari Vivi just fits in perfectly. I will say this card was kind of good, though. The Sakazuki seemed pretty good. This is something we have to consider in the future. But yeah, so this is probably the direction we should look into it going forward for the more traditional list. Now let's go ahead and go back over to the Navy list, the Green Blues Zonji Navy. What did I call this thing? Green Blues Zo Navy. So this list right here, so again, like I was saying earlier, guys, I mean, I even read the card while I was talking about it. This E-Show is a no-go for the deck because your leader has to be Navy type. I don't know why I just thought immediately like, oh yeah, our leader's Navy when it's not. The deck is Navy, the leader is not. But other than that, it's still a solid card, but I think we have enough 5-cost targets in here with the Rosinante to be able to pull off what we need to. And even still, I don't know if that's really the best thing to do with this deck. I don't know if we need to even do that. This list felt like it had a lot of potential. It felt like it was pretty good. It had plenty of 2K counter power with all the the Suru, Tashigi, and Gion. Gion being an absolute menace against any kind of Nami deck. It's almost impossible for them to deal with it. X-Drake does what he does pretty well. I mean, this is going to be your main answer to Dofi, right? To Blue Doflamingo. It's just like attacking into their board aggressively and popping stuff you don't want to have to deal with. But one thing I would like to add to this list, maybe at some point, maybe we don't need Rosinante. Maybe we actually instead need the Hody Jones. Because, guys, I'm going to be honest. This card is just an absolute threat, right? Oh, and another card we need to consider for the other deck, the green-blue, the standard green-blue Zonji list is probably at least a few Smokers. Smoker is just an incredible card. But anyway, back to this version. Hody Jones probably should just go in the deck, even over 2 Houndblaze. Because, yeah, Houndblaze does help us get around blockers, but nothing helps us get around blockers like Hody Jones does. And that, in fact, I'm just going to add that right now as, like, the 2 just quick fixes to the deck. Because I think it's that good. I think Hody Jones is that good, it's worth including. This X-Drake is a very flexible spot in the list. And look at this, guys. Here's a card coming out. This Jory Body is a 7K body. 7 cost, 7,000 power, 1K counter. On play, up to one of your opponent's rested characters will not become active during your opponent's next refresh phase. Then at the end of your turn, set up to one of your Dawn cards is active. Okay, the bottom part doesn't really matter to us. But there might be some ideas here. And actually, let me do this real quick. So this deck, I think we should just immediately go up to 2 Nefeltari Vivis, maybe a third one. Maybe we drop 1 Kuzan for a third Nefeltari Vivi. Yeah, I think so. I mean, Vivi even has a counter, right? It even has a 1K counter. Going up to 4 is probably not the worst idea in the world. But we're going to go up to 3 for now. I think it'll be fine. If you guys think it's worth going up to 4, just drop another Kuzan to go up a 4th Nefeltari Vivi. But I do think this card's going to be great for us. But then with this X-Drake, I will say another thing to consider. I like that 7-cost card we just looked at, the 7-cost, oh gosh, what's the name of it? The 7-cost Joribani. But some other cards to really consider is Carrot, and even the 5-cost 6K Bonnie, because guys, this can keep a Dawn rested or any cost character. So yes, Carrot can tap down multiple, or not tap down, but Carrot can like lock down multiple targets for us if we need to, like if we can attack multiple times. Because you can remember, it's a on play and when attacking. On play, we can only rest out or keep one character rested. But when attacking, if we stand this card up, like attach 1 Dawn, swing for 7, keep a character rested. If we set this card as active with our leader, we can keep another character locked down. But I don't know if we need to do that, guys, because I think the deck is pretty aggressive as is. But who knows? This might be the card that helps into the Dofi matchup. But at the same time, you guys know they're running Grab Blade, so I mean they could just pop us with that. We'll have to see. We have the Smoker in here. We have the Sengoku. Maybe we drop down 2 Sengokus for either 2 Carrots, 2 Jewelry Bonnies, or that the 2 Isho card. But again, remember, we don't get the effect. So I don't know. I'm going to just roll this card out. Yeah, I think for the time being, just for the sake of people knowing like the direction my mind's going, I think I will put in the Carrot. Man, that's a tough call. I've won games off Jory Bonnie recycling her effect, because remember, guys, after we swing, like we can just swing for 6 with this character, pull it back with our leader effect, and just replay it and just keep a character locked down indefinitely. I'm actually going to run the Jory Bonnie in this list for now. This is another 5 cost. We can combo, of course, with the Rosinante. It's not searchable with our Sengoku, or excuse me, with our Tashigi, but it's still one of those cards that's just so incredible. We'll have to see, guys. Tell me what y'all think. This card probably has a higher potential in the deck, because if you attack twice, you can lock down 2 targets. But let's just be honest, you're probably just going to be able to take those targets out with the leader if you need to, like just swing into their board if you need to. But yeah, I don't know. All right, I'm done. I'm done, guys. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. This list has been a lot of fun. It has a lot of potential still. I think I mentioned this in the beginning of the video too. Guys, I really enjoy Green Blue Zonji. This is a list I've been running for a very long time. Ever since it first came out, I thought, man, this is a really cool leader with a lot of potential. So don't worry, we will be revisiting this in the near future, and I'll try to get you guys some gameplay with Nefeltari Vivi. I know that was a bummer you guys didn't get to see this card in action, but this card is definitely a very strong card for the deck. We'll talk about that more in the future. All right, I'm done, guys. That's it. Big shout out to everybody who supports the channel, guys. Let me get up the playmat page here. Whoops, I'm like messing everything up over here on my OBS. There we go. Big shout out to everybody who supports the channel, guys, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, whatever you're doing to help me out. Thank you so much. To everybody over here on the VV Pirates Playmat supporter page, thank you guys so much. I hope y'all are enjoying the playmats. To the members, thank you guys so much for hanging out on the stream with me and becoming members on the YouTube. And by the way, guys, again, don't forget, streaming tonight. Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays from 9 p.m. to, Eastern to 12 a.m. We're streaming. So be sure to check that out. Big shout out to everybody over here on the YouTube members page. Thank you so much for the support. And last but not least, the VV Pirates patron page. Thank you to everybody on here for supporting the channel in all the ways you do, keeping the channel alive, keeping the dream alive, keeping everything afloat. All right, I'm done. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, peace.